What if I told you the Elvis Presley we know, the king of rock and roll adored by millions, was only part of the story? Beyond the glitzy concerts and iconic movies lies a hidden world full of secrets only a handful of people were privy to. What was really going on behind closed doors? And what did it mean to live in Elvis's shadow day in and day out? Today, we take a closer look at that mystery with a rare insider who was there every step of the way. Sonny West, Elvis's personal bodyguard, confidant, and close friend. For years, Sonny kept the king's secrets, protecting him from the prying eyes of the world. But now he's ready to open up and share the untold truths about Elvis's life, struggles, and the pressures that came with fame. Get ready to uncover revelations that have been buried for decades. This is the side of Elvis you never knew.
Sonny West was more than just Elvis Presley's bodyguard. He was also a close friend and someone Presley could trust. Their connection went beyond the normal one between an employer and an employee. They respected each other and shared experiences. West often thought about how complicated their friendship was. He knew that Elvis could be annoying at times, but that their love of music always brought them back together. Sonny West has shared his unique view of Elvis through his books and public performances. The stories Sonny West has to tell about Elvis are filled with surprises and insights that reveal a side of the king of rock and roll that few have seen. So let's begin with Dixie Locke. Dixie Locke Emmons was Elvis's intimate girlfriend and one of his closest pals. Dixie was dating Elvis Presley in 1954, but her favorite artists at the time included Dean Martin, Frank Sinatra, and Peggy Lee. Elvis was lured to Locke's church, First Assembly of God, because he enjoyed gospel music and the Blackwood Brothers Quartet, which performed at the church. Elvis was still an aspiring artist who worked hard to establish himself. Dixie was a high school student at Humes High School, where Elvis also studied. Their bond was instant. They had a love of music and a zest for life, which brought them together. Elvis was known for his charm and charisma, which drew Dixie in from the beginning.
As their relationship blossomed, Elvis and Dixie quickly became inseparable. They spent countless hours together, often going to movies, attending concerts, and enjoying each other's company. Elvis would serenade Dixie with his songs, showcasing his budding talent. Their romance was marked by typical teenage experiences, sweet dates filled with laughter, joy, and dreams for the future.
During this period, Elvis's career began to take off. With hits like That's All Right and Blue Moon, he gained national attention. Despite his growing fame, Elvis remained devoted to Dixie. He often took her along to events when possible, introducing her to the world of music and stardom. Their bond seemed unbreakable as they navigated the challenges of young love together.
Dixie was not only a supportive girlfriend, but also played a significant role in grounding Elvis during his rise to fame. She provided him with a sense of normalcy amidst the chaos of celebrity life. Their relationship was characterized by deep affection and mutual respect. They shared dreams of a future together. But as Elvis's career skyrocketed, their relationship faced inevitable strains. The pressures of fame began to take a toll on their connection. In 1956, after Elvis's breakout year, he became increasingly busy with tours and recording sessions. The demands of his career left little time for personal relationships. Dixie found it challenging to cope with the changes in their lives. While she supported Elvis's ambitions, she also wanted the simple moments they once shared, quiet evenings spent together without the interference of fans or media. The couple attempted to maintain their relationship despite these challenges. However, the distance created by Elvis's hectic schedule proved difficult to bridge. In 1958, after 4 years together, Dixie and Elvis parted ways. The decision was mutual, but painful for both. They realized that while they loved each other deeply, their lives were heading in different directions. Elvis was about to join the U.S. Army, which would physically and mentally separate them even more. Next, the affair with Joyce Bova. Joyce Bova's relationship with Elvis Presley intertwines romance, ambition, and the complexities of fame. Their journey began in 1969 when Joyce, then a 24-year-old staffer for the House Armed Services Committee, met Elvis during a vacation in Las Vegas. The meeting took place at one of his iconic shows, where they were instantly drawn to each other, and marked the beginning of a passionate yet tumultuous affair that would last until 1972. Joyce was attracted by Elvis's charisma and charm, while he found her intelligence and beauty alluring. Despite being married to Priscilla Presley at the time, Elvis and Joyce began seeing each other frequently in various cities and even at Graceland, where they shared intimate moments away from the public eye. In her memoir, Don't Ask Forever, My Love Affair with Elvis, Joyce details their passionate encounters and the deep emotional bond they developed over their time together. As they got closer, Joyce wanted a life with Elvis that included getting married and having kids. She often thought back to the times they talked and how he showed love for her and talked about their hopes for a future together. But the fact that Elvis was married hung over their love story like a cloud and made it harder to believe. Elvis didn't want to fully commit because he already had responsibilities as a husband and father to Lisa Marie Presley, but Joyce wanted a regular family life. The relationship took a significant turn when Joyce discovered she was pregnant with Elvis's child. This was really a shock to both of them. In her memoir, she recounts how she ultimately decided to have an abortion without informing Elvis, fearing that his reaction would be negative due to his views on motherhood. During one conversation, Elvis expressed disdain for women who had children, stating that once a woman became a mother, she lost her allure. This conversation deeply affected Joyce and made her question their future together. Despite these challenges, they continued to see each other until 1972. However, as time went on, the toll of Elvis's lifestyle began to weigh heavily on their relationship. His increasing struggles with substance abuse and declining health created an emotional distance between them. Joyce witnessed firsthand the changes in him. He was no longer the vibrant star she had fallen in love with, but rather a man grappling with addiction and personal demons. As Elvis's health got worse, Joyce finally made the hard choice to end their relationship. She could no longer take seeing him fall further and further apart because of his drug problems. As she wrote in her book, they stopped talking to each other as much after they broke up, which was a sad end to a very intense romantic period in both of their lives. After parting ways with Elvis, Joyce moved on with her life. She married an engineer named Mark Cameo and shifted her focus away from the limelight that had briefly enveloped her during her affair with the king of rock and roll, Anita Wood. Confidence, steadiness, and moral backing. Elvis Presley and Anita Wood's relationship is an interesting chapter in the king of rock and roll's life. Their love story began in 1957 when they met through a popular television dance show in Memphis, where Anita was a performer. Interestingly, when Elvis initially asked her out, she declined because she had another date. However, he persisted and eventually won her over, leading to a serious romance that lasted several years. Anita quickly became a significant part of Elvis's life, often referred to as his number one girl. Their relationship flourished during the late 1950s and continued throughout Elvis's 2-year military service in Germany. During this time, they maintained their bond through letters and phone calls. They were committed despite the distance. Anita was deeply integrated into Elvis's world, even becoming close to his family, especially his mother, Gladys Presley. However, the dynamic of their relationship began to shift when Elvis met Priscilla Beaulieu in 1959. Priscilla was only 14 at the time, and their relationship would later become controversial due to the significant age difference. While Elvis was away in Germany, he started seeing Priscilla secretly, which would ultimately lead to tension with Anita. The situation escalated when Anita became aware of rumors regarding Elvis's relationship with Priscilla. In 1962, Anita got the letters from Priscilla begging Elvis to let her visit him. Anita confronted him about the affair. Elvis downplayed the situation, insisting it was just a friendship and asking her not to jeopardize his career by making it public since Priscilla was underage. Despite his reassurances, Anita's suspicions grew. She overheard a conversation between Elvis and his father that revealed he was torn between the two women. Heartbroken and feeling betrayed, Anita decided to take control of her life. In a poignant moment filled with emotion, she told Elvis she was leaving him after realizing he could not choose between her and Priscilla. Despite attempts from both Elvis and his father to convince her to stay, Anita stood firm in her decision. She left Graceland that night, knowing it was a definitive end to their romance. After their breakup, Anita moved on with her life and later married NFL player Johnny Brewer in 1965. Although she never returned to Elvis as a romantic partner, they remained on good terms over the years. Priscilla Presley, the passionate affair. Elvis and Priscilla Presley shared a complex and captivating relationship that began in the late 1950s and evolved over the years into a marriage filled with love, challenges, and ultimately separation. Elvis first met Priscilla Beaulieu in September 1959 while stationed in Germany during his military service. Priscilla was just 14 years old at the time, attending a party hosted by a friend. Elvis was immediately taken by her youthful charm and beauty. Despite their age difference, Elvis was 24, they began dating, with Priscilla's parents reluctantly allowing her to spend time with him. Their relationship blossomed through letters after Elvis returned to the United States in 1960. Priscilla often sent him pink envelopes to stand out among his fan mail. By 1963, she moved to Memphis to be with him, completing her education there while living at Graceland. Elvis proposed to Priscilla just before Christmas in 1966, and they married on May 1, 1967, in Las Vegas. Their wedding was quick and somewhat unconventional, reflecting the pressures of Elvis's fame and lifestyle. They welcomed their only child, Lisa Marie Presley, 9 months later. Initially, Priscilla embraced her role as a traditional wife, caring for Elvis and managing their home. However, as time passed, she felt increasingly overshadowed by Elvis's career and lifestyle. The couple's relationship became strained due to Elvis's alleged infidelities and Priscilla's growing desire for independence. By 1972, both Elvis and Priscilla had affairs. Priscilla with her karate instructor, Mike Stone, and the couple decided to separate. Priscilla expressed that she needed to explore her own identity outside of being Elvis's living doll, as he had often shaped her appearance and lifestyle according to his preferences. Their divorce was finalized on October 9, 1973. Despite the separation, they maintained a close relationship for the sake of their daughter and continued to express love for each other. Priscilla later reflected that she did not leave Elvis because she stopped loving him. Rather, she needed to discover herself beyond their marriage. She noted that their bond remained strong even after their divorce, emphasizing that they still cared for each other deeply until Elvis's untimely death in 1977. Linda Thompson, the committed carer. Elvis Presley and Linda Thompson's journey together was marked by intense emotions and personal struggles. Elvis first met Linda Thompson in July 1972 at a private screening of a film in Memphis. At the time, Linda was a 22-year-old beauty queen, and their attraction was immediate. Elvis approached her with charm, assuring her that he was no longer with Priscilla Presley, his former wife. The chemistry between them was palpable. They spent hours together that night, kissing and cuddling in the darkened theater. Within weeks, Linda was flown to Las Vegas to see Elvis perform, and soon after, she moved into Graceland. Linda described their connection as one where they were everything to each other: lovers, friends, and at times, caregivers and patients. Elvis was drawn to Linda's perceived purity. She had never been involved with drugs or alcohol, which contrasted sharply with his own struggles. During their 4.5 years together, Linda became an integral part of Elvis's life. They shared many memorable moments, including attending his historic Aloha from Hawaii concert in 1973, which was watched by millions worldwide. Still, their union had its ups and downs. As Elvis's health started to get worse because he was taking more drugs and living a bad life, Linda had to take care of him. She watched over him a lot at night because he had trouble sleeping and other health problems. She felt drained by this emotional weight. By late 1976, cracks began to show in their relationship. Linda suspected that Elvis was seeing other women, which caused her significant distress. In November of that year, she confronted him during a visit to San Francisco. Despite Elvis's tearful assurances of love and loyalty, Linda felt compelled to end the relationship. She told him that if there was another woman involved, he needed to be honest with her. Linda's choice was influenced by a number of factors, including the emotional exhaustion she experienced as a result of caring for someone who was engaging in self-destructive behavior and the realization that she was unable to compete adequately with the other women in Elvis's life. Just a few short months before his terrible death, on August 16, 1977, they decided to end their relationship. Following their split, Elvis quickly moved on to a new girlfriend, Ginger Alden. Tragically, he passed away shortly after their breakup. Linda received the heartbreaking news from Lisa Marie Presley, Elvis's daughter, who called her immediately after her father's death. At his funeral, she was one of the first people acknowledged by Elvis's father for her role in his life. The love with Sheila Ryan. Elvis and Sheila first crossed paths in Las Vegas. Sheila, who was then a rising star and had recently been named Playboy's Playmate of the Year in October of 1973, was introduced to Elvis by his friend Joe Esposito. Their relationship blossomed quickly. Sheila found herself swept off her feet by Elvis's larger-than-life persona and the glamour that surrounded him. However, being with Elvis came with its own set of challenges. Despite the initial excitement, Sheila often felt overwhelmed by the expectations placed upon her as Elvis's girlfriend. She later revealed that she struggled to understand the nature of love and romance as defined by someone like Elvis. While he attempted to create romantic moments, Sheila admitted that these gestures sometimes felt uncomfortable rather than romantic. Their relationship was put under more stress as a result of Elvis's busy lifestyle and stardom. Sheila claimed that she did not feel completely honest on her part. She was taught by Elvis's pals how to behave around him, which left her feeling like a fraud at times. Sheila acknowledged that she suffered from that feeling. The fact that their relationship was distinct from others that he had encountered was something that she valued despite this fact. The fact that she did not exhibit any signs of jealousy or demand made it possible for them to keep an open conversation about his prior relationships. As their relationship progressed, the pressures began to mount. Despite their chemistry and shared moments, Sheila eventually realized that she needed more stability than what their whirlwind romance could provide. The couple's breakup came about due to these mounting pressures and differences in their expectations for the future. Sheila expressed that while she cared deeply for Elvis, she felt it was necessary to step back from the relationship to regain her sense of self. Ultimately, she left him after about 2 years together. Sheila would go on to marry actor James Caan in 1976, So this was all about the lavish life of Elvis Presley, the king of rock and roll. Before you go, please give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video and subscribe to our channel for more exciting videos like this. Was Elvis serious in any of his relationships, or was he simply a playboy? Let us know in the comments.